Are you gonna film this?
Okay.
Hi, my name's Ron, and today I'd like to tell you how to keep your family fire safe. Why fire safety, you ask? Well, Christmas season's upon us, and in the winter months are the most devastating months as far as safety is concerned. According to the National Fire Protection Agency, over 300,000 people lose their lives due to fire-related causes every year. That's one person every 163 minutes. Now imagine for a second that you went to bed and left some candles burning in the living room. Candle falls over, curtains catch on fire, couch catches on fire, carpet catches on fire, and the fire's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and everybody's upstairs sleeping. Nobody hears or feels or smells the fire. And in the morning when the whole house is burned down, fire inspectors are going to come walking through here and they're going to ask themselves, why didn't this family wake up? Well, the answer to this question is that most people die not of the actual fire, but because of the smoke that the fire produces. So one way to prevent that is by installing smoke detectors. Smoke detectors, you ask? Yes. And they're very simple, and everybody should have them. You should have one smoke detector in every room in the house, on every floor in the house, and in every hallway in the house. You want to keep the smoke detectors away from the kitchen and from the bathroom, because the smoke and steam might set off the detector on accident, and then you guys get used to hearing the smoke detector all the time, right? So then when there's really a fire, you might not get out of the house. So you should test your smoke detector every year, maybe on daylight savings time or on New Year's or on your birthday. And every 10 years you should replace your smoke detector, because smoke detectors don't last forever. Every once in a while you need to get a new one, right? Now when the smoke detector chirps, you can probably solve that problem by replacing the battery, because usually the chirping smoke detector means that the battery's low. Now, get to my favorite part, the evacuation. It's the most fun part in my opinion, because you guys get to practice this all the time, right? So when the fire detector goes off and it's chirping, then that lets you know you need to get out of the house, right? But you don't want to just run. You want to be systematic about it. You want to make sure that the people's rooms you go by that might not hear the smoke detector or see the smoke detector or are able to get out of the building, that you warn them and let them know, hey, we need to get out, right? So every year maybe you guys can practice crawling out of the house because of the thick black smoke, or maybe climbing out of a window if it's on the first floor with your parents' help. Or maybe you can learn how to shelter in place. That's taking a towel and putting it under the door frame, preferably a wet towel to keep the smoke out, and then you open up a window and put a flag outside. That lets the firefighters know that you can't get out of your room because the fire's too big and that they need to save you, right? Very good stuff to know. Now, after you get out of the fire, you should all meet at one place, like maybe a tree, a neighbor's house, or a park. After you guys all meet there, it's important to take accountability. Accountability is especially important in an office setting, or if you live in an extended family, or you just have a lot of brothers and sisters and friends living in your house. After you make sure everybody's there, or if not everybody's there and should be there, you call 911. Some of the things that you want to tell the dispatcher on 911 is, where's the fire? What's your address? What are the cross streets to get to your address? Is anybody trapped in the fire? Is there anything dangerous in the house, like oxygen bottles because of a COPD patient? Or maybe fuel inside your garage because of a hot rod that you might be blowing up. It's this time where practicing fire safety really pays off, because you see your house burning, but you see your whole family sitting right there next to that tree. So just keeping that in mind, thinking about how bad it would feel not to have your whole family there watching your house burn. I like to talk about safety drills for kids, making sure that your kids are there. So some of the things that you want to teach your kid is stop, drop, and roll. That's if you catch on fire, that you just hit the ground, stop, drop, and roll. Because some kids, when they get caught on fire, they just start running because they panic. Playing games with kids like stop, drop, and roll. creates like a sort of muscle memory in their minds to teach them that as soon as this happens that they will jump on the ground instead of running through the door. Another thing to teach your kids never to hide if they get scared, like in the closet or under a bed or something like that, because something in kids' minds makes them want to just get as far away from the situation as possible and be quiet. And when a firefighter comes around, sometimes they look really funny like spacemen, so kids are afraid to speak up or to reach out. So it's important to let kids know what firefighters do and what they look like. Finally, the fire drills that I just talked about, it's important to do those and let your kids know how to call 911. What's the number? A lot of kids don't know a 911 number, they just think that 911 is the name of the action that you're going to complete. Just recapping this really quick. We talked about smoke detectors, we talked about evacuation, and we talked about teaching your kids what to do in the event of a fire. If you guys remember during the smoke detector portion of the speech, I told you don't put them in the kitchen or in the bathroom or really close to it, because the smoke or the steam might set it off. In the kitchen, I'd recommend having a B or C class fire extinguisher, B being for any kind of flammable liquids like grease or molten plastics, and C being for electricity. Having that in your kitchen can greatly reduce the chance of your house burning down due to early intervention. And one way to use your fire extinguisher is the pass method. Pull the pin, aim the extinguisher, squeeze the extinguisher, and then sweep. Doing all these things should keep your family safe throughout the holiday season. I'd like to remind you to keep your Christmas tree very wet, keep it away from heat and fire sources, and have a happy New Year. Thank you. Bye. And I'll take the camera. You guys have any feedback?
I'm glad that you let us know how to use a fire extinguisher, so we know how to use it now.
Awesome.
I thought you did really well, and you had good eye contact, that you focused on all of us.
What do you think, Ariel?
I liked about when you said to teach your kids, like, don't hide under the bed, you go in closets.
Oh, good call. You guys have anything to add?
No.
No? Alright, thanks a lot, guys. Thank you for listening.
You're